And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share because this is not stopping until we make it stop. Now, look, if you've been watching the news like I have over these past few weeks, it's clear that we are living in very, very violent times. Over this past weekend, another series of mass shootings. This one specifically struck a Mormon church in Michigan. And instead of us all just focusing on solutions, what are our politicians doing? Well, too many of these politicians and pundits, they just jump in to spin the tragedy for partisan gain. They point fingers at whether it's the left or to the right. They're just pointing fingers when the real issue is mental illness as well as America's easy access to firearms. On my Mea Culpa podcast, I spoke with Charlie Sykes about how we can lower the temperature and stop treating our political opponents like enemies. Play the clip. There's so much pent-up anger and divisiveness and rage. And you know, these folks who are mentally fucked up, because there's no other way to describe them.
That's right.
They turn to a firearm. We saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We saw attempted assassinations twice on President Trump. And just today or yesterday, a shooter opened fire at a Dallas ice field office, indiscriminately firing into it. Now, allegedly, according to Patel, who, by the way, I don't understand this guy. This guy is making more mistakes. If I was still in the administration, if I was still in that inner circle, Trump would call me up, Michael. Yeah. So you go, you got to get rid of this guy. He's no good. Just do it. And do it mean. Just do it. Just do it. Do it really mean in front of people. And that's what he did. He never fired anybody. He would have me fire them. So that whole thing with the apprentice, you fired? Nah, he would come to me and say, get rid of him. And it was just like that. He's gone. Okay. Got it, boss. Mean? Brutal. Okay. You got it.
What's the point of the mean? Well, I mean, why not just fire the person? What's the mean about?
No, in order to set a message to others.
Okay.
It's all about keeping control over the others as well. So you got Patel, who's now posting photos on his fucking X or his Truth Social, wherever the hell he's posting this shit, of the bullet casing that shows anti-ICE. Right. So, of course, now they're going to turn around. They're going to say it's all the Democrats. It's once again the unhinged lunatic Democrats that are opening fire, killed like 2 people, 2 detainees and injured 1, yada, yada. Killing them. He then, of course, took his life, the assassin. As political violence continues to escalate across the U.S., my final question to you. How do we understand the motivation of rage-driven shooters? Are they symptoms of polarization, mental health crises, or something deeper in the social fabric of this country?
Well, I'm going to be careful answering that question because we don't know. We don't know about you described them as these people are fucked up, and they're fucked up in ways that, are not black and white, that don't fall into normal political, categories. The problem is that there's this instant rush of people saying, we want this to fit our ideological narrative, that we are the victims and you are the bad guys. The reality is often much more complicated and perhaps sometimes unknowable. So I don't want to speculate about what's going on inside these minds. What is clear is that the weaponization, the fundraising, the demagoguery will not wait for the evidence to come along. We saw that in the wake of Charlie Kirk. We're going to see that in the wake of this, whatever the facts are. And so this again now feeds the intensity. This gives the a pretext to crack down again on dissent, to weaponize the power of the federal government against enemies. I share your skepticism by Patel. There was a time when if the FBI laid something out at a press conference, you would think, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore, so I don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter in terms of what the politics is going to be. But I will say this. I'm older than you. You probably don't remember 1968. And back in the late 1960s, you had that feeling that things were falling apart and political assassinations felt like they were becoming part of the ugly fabric of American politics. Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., a few years after the assassination of JFK, the attempted assassination of George Washington. Yes, I mean, and again, given the proliferation of guns and anger and crazy people, and you don't need a lot of crazy people. I mean, just in the last few months, we had the guy that shot up the ABC affiliate the other day.
The ones who shot up the school, the church, the synagogue,
the CDC.
That brought into the CDC. You had one that went into one of these big box stores. They're out of control, and I say they're fucked up because I believe anybody who picks up a gun with the intent of shooting another person, you have to be fucked up. You can't have your head screwed on straight. It's like you remember that not too many years ago there was some idiot that was throwing concrete blocks off of the top of an overpass on a bridge. Well, what did you think was going to happen, right? I mean, is this some rush for you that, hey, I fucking got it? And meanwhile, went through the windshield and it killed the driver and so on. Then it became a manhunt. There's something wrong with anybody that wants to hurt another human being. So,
in terms of this climate, you were talking about what you told Congress a few years ago. For the last several years on cable television, I have been saying that we are headed into a period of real danger, and it appears to be escalating all the time. The rhetoric, the hatred, the demonization. And again, go back to the kinds of things that Stephen Miller says.
The dehumanization.
The dehumanization. What do you think is going to happen in a country like this? And again, it doesn't have to be a mass movement of violence. If it's 1/100th of 1% of the American public, that's a lot of people with guns doing crazy things.
Amen.
And the fact is that we are angrier. We are more bitter. There are more pretexts to think that the other guy is a terrorist or an enemy or hates God or hates America or is a Nazi or whatever. And once you begin to dehumanize and make your opponents into monsters, that creates an incentive or I don't want to use the word permission structure because that's one of the most hackneyed cliches out there, to say, okay, we're not going to debate this. We're not going to rely upon democratic processes. We're going to be warriors. And when you get guys like Kash Patel throwing around like, I will meet you in Valhalla. What the fuck is that? First of all, other than we are warriors and we are picking up the Crusader sword. Well, Crusaders did not come and have seminars on multiculturalism in Jerusalem. They saw themselves as warriors. And you look at a lot of the MAGA porn, which I'm sure you see, and there is this real sort of fetish, not just for cruelty and brutality, but also violence. So it is a very, very, very dangerous time.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.